Hey y'all, welcome back to part 4 of the Alfred Wright story. When I left you guys, Reverend Wright, Alfred Wright's father, was sitting with his body until another Texas Ranger arrived. He did not want to release Alfred's body into just anyone's custody because at this point he did not trust Sheriff Maddox and he did not trust Danny Young, which was the first Texas Ranger who arrived on scene. So he opted to sit with his son's body overnight until the Texas Rangers arrived the very next day. Now, I know a lot of you may already know about James Byrd Jr.'s case that happened in Jasper, Texas in 1998, but I think it's important that we revisit that case because it really is relevant to why Reverend Wright did not trust the police department and the efforts that they tried to make in recovering or finding Alfred Wright. So in 1998, James Byrd Jr. was killed by 3 white supremacists in Jasper, Texas. And the reason why he was with them in the first place is because they offered him a ride. However, they beat him, spray painted him, and peed and defecated on him, and dragged his body for about 6 miles. They decapitated his head, and that happened on a culvert, and so you guys can look that up, but basically it's like a part of I'm guessing a drain that sticks out, and then there's like some type of water reservoir underneath. And he was alive actually for most of that time, and it was just a horrendous hate crime. And even as I'm sitting here talking to you guys about it, it took me about 2 times to record this because I just got nauseous, and it makes me so upset that can happen, and that does happen, and that evil exists. So honestly, you know, Reverend Wright had all the right, no pun intended, in the world to sit with his son's body overnight, because who can you trust in a racist ass town that did what they did in 1998 and has done probably other crazy things that have been covered up? You know, his son was a black man, a target. His son was in an interracial marriage, another target. There was reason to believe that his son was murdered, and so he wanted to wait. Now, once the other Texas Ranger arrived the very next day, they took Alfred's body to Beaumont, Texas, in Sabine County to have an autopsy by the medical examiner of the county. However, his parents also hired an independent medical examiner to do an autopsy as well. So in January, they released the autopsy from Sabine County, and they said there were no signs of trauma on his body. They said he OD'd from cocaine and methamphetamine, and all wounds that were initially found on his body were due to animals and insects, you know, taking them off and just natural decay. Stay tuned for